Hello Commanders and welcome to this video for Infinite Lagrange. First, I want to apologize. Today there's no video, small technical trouble. Next time we will have a video again. Anyhow, I didn't want to wait making this video because I finally got some very important ship and was now able to do some tests based on the last video. In the last video we were talking about the best cruisers and there was a lot of discussion in the comments about the KCCPV 2.0. I really did not expect that. The discussion was about the aircraft type, which I rated very low. Why? Because it can only carry 2 fighters. Now, yes, these are large fighters. So what were the discussion points? First, it is the only ship that is smaller than a carrier that can bring in large fighters. And second, it is really nice fast for a cruiser. And if you upgrade the propulsion system, it will not slow down your destroyer fleet by much. Now, we all know carrier ships are only as good as the aircraft you can bring with you. And for this, let's take a look. When we take a look at the fighters, we will see there are not many large fighters. We have the Stingray, we have the Vitas B010, and we do have the Bullfrogs. These are the only large fighters in game, and if you want to bring them, you either have to use a carrier, the Marshall Cruise, CV3000, Solar Whale, or you can use the KCCPV 2.0. Now, if we would take a different cruiser carrier for aircraft with us, we could bring double the number of fighters with us. So the best damage dealing fighter, medium size, if you ask me, would be the Vitas A21. It is an amazingly good ship, it does a lot of damage, and it can even take out systems. It has the chance to do system damage, take out propulsion and enemy aircraft systems, which can be really nice if you want to either annoy enemy players by fighting versus their miners, or if you want to take out carriers. And if you look at the attack priority, that works perfect because they go for carriers first. Now, we will not look into the system damage, we want to look into the anti-ship fire damage. Let's quickly have a look at the 3 heavy fighters we have. The Bullfrog. The Bullfrog comes in here with 2000 anti-ship damage. Sure, we can upgrade this. It's called the Siege type, 880 siege damage. And to be honest, it is not very impressive from its performance. The Stingray is the second one, stealth torpedo bomber. Comes with 3200 base damage. Surprisingly does more siege firepower than the dedicated siege fighter, which in my opinion does not make much sense. Can also do system damage. It's pretty decent, but if we take a look at the Vitas B010, this one is just the best fighter, large fighter you can bring in. Now you can see I have 31 tech points already assigned, doing 6400 anti-ship damage, and we will compare it to the Vitas that also got 30 tech points, okay, plus 10, so a little bit more, doing 5300. And yes, the damage coming in here is bigger, but you could bring double the number of medium fighters compared to large fighters. And the big advantage of the Vitas B010 is the plasma system. So we do energy damage versus large ships, and also have the same attack priority as the other Vitas. So the Vitas are very close together. Here we have large fighters with energy damage, and here we do have medium fighters that do projectile damage with the Roland Dart missile system. And now let's go directly into this and have a look how did they perform in the two fights I was running. We do have the first battle here where I bring in 10 Vitas and they did 121k damage. If we compare this to the Nebula Chaser pulse cannon, it's around the same, and we will use this as reference value. We use a Nebula Chaser damage as reference value to see how good the Vitas do. And as said, we would need to have double the damage to really have a reason why we want to use the KCCPV 2.0 carrier. And this is what I did here. I now brought in the Vitas B0101, and if we take a look, the Nebula Chaser did 100k and the Vitas did double the damage. So is it better? It is hard to say. It might perform a little bit better the more large targets you have. As we can see here, we do have some frigates, destroyers, cruisers. So we have nothing very, very big with huge armor. And we already perform around as good as double the number of Vitas medium fighters. So what would I recommend you to do? Yes, I have to agree, I did put the KCCPV way too low into the ranking. If we look at this, bringing in 2 large fighters is as good as bringing in the 4 medium fighters in that case. You will get the additional advantage of having something with more HP, with more armor, so very likely it will also survive longer. And if you use a destroyer fleet, you could put 5 of these into the reinforcements, then we do not have to worry about the comment points, because that would be another thing we have to discuss. But if you use 5 of them as reinforcements, you can bring in your 10 Vitas B010 and you have no trouble with the comment point at all. And I have to tell you, I will start working on this for my destroyer fleet. Now that I have the Vitas B010, this is really a very interesting option. So I would now rate the KCCPV 2.0 not D tier category. I would put it up to probably even A category. Based on the assumption that you will use it together with the Vitas B010, then this thing can really perform well, and use them in as reinforcements in a destroyer fleet. You will have a lot of fun. Okay, so I hope you liked the video. I try to make the videos now a little bit shorter and not go so long and talk so much. Let me know in the comments if you prefer this, or if you prefer hearing me talking for 12, 15, 20 minutes. I hope you enjoy the short videos a little bit more and will not get bored so much. And thank you all for the comments in the tier video and pointing out this special role of the KCCPV 2.0 aircraft carrier type. Hope you liked the video, give it a thumbs up, subscribe to the channel, and then I'll see you on the next video again.